Green on Paul. And he got it!
The Chris Paul Teardrop.
My teardrop floater in the lane, and something I've been doing pretty much my whole life.
Very effective. His signature move, his game winner, something that he goes to time and time again. Is very, very hard to guard, hard to stop. Is it one of the best signature moves of all time for one of the best point guards of all time? Let's take a look. So Chris Paul, he used this teardrop. It was very controlled. It went with the offense, went with the flow. It wasn't quite like the Tony Parker teardrop that was a blur. It was quick. The Chris Paul teardrop was very slow, methodical. He'll get to his spot and he'll float the ball just from the outstretch of the defender's hand. Rarely, if ever, did this move get blocked.
Paul makes his move, acceleration to the rim, banks it in with 2.6 remaining. Hornets lead by 2.
Chris Paul had one of the softest touches in the game. He would always go off 1 foot, and whether it was just straight into the hoop or off the glass, he always used a little slight touch to just get the ball exactly to the spot that it needed to be to score the bucket.
Shot clock running down. Chris Paul puts it up.
Look at the space. Chris Paul just makes a very difficult shot. And
I always like to say that Chris Paul was the best pick and roll point guard ever. And when he used that pick and roll, he usually would stop at the mid-range and give you that jump shot. He usually would give you this little floater. For a 6-foot guard to have this in their arsenal, that really goes to show you the creativeness and levels of Chris Paul's game, offensive game, that he had to make him arguably the top 3 point guards ever.
Chris Paul.
If you watch Chris Paul play, it was very deliberate move. It was something that you can watch him in. Unlike all other guards, I think Chris Paul knew he was going to do this when he was bringing the ball up the court. It's something that was very thought out. He liked to get to his spot, and just for the type of guard Chris Paul is, that he thinks about his next move like he's playing a game of chess. Very different from other guards where they just let the game come to them. Chris Paul is more like a surgeon. He likes to be in control of everything, make everything, kind of how he wants it to go, flow like he wants it to flow. Be the captain, be the general of the team, have the offense moving exactly how he wants it to move. And this was the height, the signature, I should say, of his offensive game. For a point guard, do you believe that the Chris Paul teardrop is the best teardrop that you've seen? Let me know down below. Chris Paul said that this is his last season in the NBA. Hope he goes out with a bang. I hope he does, goes very deep in the playoffs. One of my favorite players. I'm glad we got to discuss and go over his signature move.
And a loose right back to Paul. Here's the sprint for the finish by Paul. But he does it! Chris Paul, the preseason player of the year, puts one in the face of North Carolina State at the buzzer.
Great players make plays at the end of